All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to take just a few quick minutes here to run through what we call the big as bear trap play in SPX. So let me walk through it here briefly with you and give you an idea of what the setup looks like on this. We're going to do this in Tastyworks here. So what this trade is a bear trap that we like to play, which normally means we take in a little bit of a credit and we have a large trap in case it falls, the price of the underlying falls significantly enough to land in the trap. So I like to do these somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 days or so. So let's go out to 60 days on SPX. We've got the 57-day here, which is the November 30th end of month. So we're going to open those strikes. And what I'm going to do is we're going to put the first spread on, and we're going to look to do that somewhere around 45 delta. So we're going to use these as approximations today, but let's take the 4250, and we want to do a 25 wide spread. So let's just use the 4250, 4225. So this is the first spread that we'll put on. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put our lower spread on somewhere around the 13 delta is where I'm going to start with the short. So we're going to put that 30 delta on, 13 delta on right here, 3000. We're going to go 50 wide down here. So this is the spread right now. So if we were to stop right here and take a look at this thing, here's what we would be looking at. Make sure I got this all set up correctly in here, because Tastyworks likes to do some funky things. And just make sure it's all set up correctly. So this is what we would be looking at here to begin with. But what we're going to do to give this thing a little bit more juice at the beginning is we're going to take this lower part of the trap and we're going to double the quantity of it. So we're going to double the quantity of this trap at the bottom. So we're going to take in on this particular one somewhere around $1 credit. I don't really want a ton of credit for this, but we'll take that on. And again, taking a look here too at the delta, it's a slightly positive delta trade. So if the market's moving up, it's certainly going to be in our favor. Also, we're going to be using a pretty good amount of buying power on this one. So $7,400 in buying power. So let's take a look at how this looks now that we've added twice or 2 times the number of contracts on the lower put here and 1 at the upper end. And you can see now that it resembles a little bit more of kind of our standard bear trap looking trade. So essentially what this is going to do for you is if the market stays here or continues to just move higher, we'll make 110 bucks on this trade. We're going to keep the credit that we sold it for, and that's what we'll take in. The beautiful thing is if we start to move down into this trap area here, by moving into this trap, now we're starting to talk about a $2,000 to $2,600, maybe $500, but the amount of profit that we take in if we jump into this trap gets to be significant. This is also a really sizable trap. So you can see from 4,250 to 3,800 on the downside. So this is roughly a 450 wide trap on SPX. So SPX would have to drop $450, which from here is more than 10%. So even if SPX drops another 10% from here, and we end up in the trap somewhere near expiration, we're going to take in over $2,000 on a trade that we were paid $100 to put on. Your only issue here really is it's a heavy buying power trade, but we do like these. We do have several of these on in our account right now. And let's take a quick look at one of the trades that we put on. This particular one that we have on right now was put on, let me see, 750. So this particular trade was put on a while ago. And you can see that we're now in the trap, highly profitable on this particular one. Now, this one, you'll notice that I didn't quite get a credit for it. I did put it on for a debit. So as a debit, it is what it is. I just wanted to get this particular one on. So I could be out 75 whole dollars, but I spent 75 bucks. And right now, this particular trade is worth well over $1,200. We're halfway to the max trap profit. So yeah, would you spend 75 to make 1,200 bucks? Not a bad deal on the market going south. It's not a hedge. It is an income trade, but it does have hedging properties as time decays. Now there's 57 days left in this trade. So there's quite a bit of time that we have for this one to mature on us. So that is one trade that's in play. And let's see, we have another one on here. So here's another trade that we have on. This particular one, we're also in the trap. Now it's not quite as profitable. It's only up a couple $100 right now. So we're sitting on a couple $100 profit. And we took in $60 or 6 cents on this particular one, and or 60 cents on this particular one. It's up 60 bucks. That's all good on this particular trade. So you can see that these can become highly profitable or mildly profitable, no matter where we go, unless we happen to just crash more than 10%. Now that's 10% from here before this thing even gets in trouble. Remember when we put this on, S&P was quite a bit higher. So there you go. There's the basics of what we call the big ass bear trap. 45 delta is where we're looking to put the initial trade on. At the top, that's where we place our long at 45 delta. We go 25 wide. Then we'll go all the way down to 13 delta for the short leg, and we'll go 50 wide times 2. That's what we'll put on. And you can play with the the actual strikes yourselves a little bit. But again, I like to take in somewhere around that, 80, 90, $1. I don't want to take in too much more than that. I want to keep the trap as big as possible. All right, well, I hope this explains it for you guys, and have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions, please let me know.